Welcome to Creative Living with Lynn Lilly. I'm so excited to continue my series of At Home with my favorite makers. Each week, I'm taking you home with a maker so you can get to know them the way that I do. And this week, you are going to love the two makers that I'm interviewing. You may know them, the Crafty Lumberjacks. They have been seen on national daytime shows across the country. You can catch them on Kelly and Brian, on Good Morning America, and you may have seen them on the HGTV Handmade channel. You guys are about to see how awesome they are, and if you don't follow them, you're sure to follow them after this interview. Before we get started, I'd love to know who's watching, so tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and if you've got a question for Andrew or Dennis, feel free to post that, and we'll make sure that they get back to you. All right, guys, let's go say hi to Andrew and Dennis.
Andrew and Dennis, how are you guys?
Hi, we're good.
Good.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I feel like I'm talking to celebrities.
Oh, please.
my
We
God.
feel like we're talking to a celebrity.
Oh, stop. Y'all are amazing. I've been following you guys forever. I loved meeting you at the cricket event we were at earlier this year. So I know that if our community does not follow you already, they're going to be obsessed with you by the end of this interview.
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
We had so much fun with you.
I know.
Like, take us back. It was such a different time.
And you guys are so sneaky. You put those stickers in my pocket. They're still in my jacket pocket. So every time I put that jacket on, I'm like, what's in my pocket? And I pull it out and I think of you guys.
Oh, yes.
Dennis
yes.
loves to like.
I know,
throw
like,
those
here you
stickers
go. Take
everywhere.
a sticker. Take a sticker.
So good. So good. Okay, before we jump into icebreakers, who's in the corner back there?
Oh my gosh, that's Teddy Kruger,
Teddy?
our cat.
Hello. Teddy wanted to be in the interview, huh?
I know. Come on, baby.
He's a diva.
He just
Yes.
really snuck his way in there. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna start it off with an icebreaker. I've been doing these with everyone, and it's fun to just get to know you guys. So I'm gonna guess you guys are probably gonna answer in unison, but so just answer one of the two things I give you, no explanation needed, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, beach or mountain?
Mountains.
Ooh, paper, paper or fabric?
Paper.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Cats.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Acrylic or watercolor?
Acrylic.
Acrylic, yeah. Acrylic.
Sew or no sew?
So,
So
I like to sew.
Okay.
I can't.
Coffee or wine?
Coffee.
Coffee. After my own heart.
Yeah.
Jeans or joggers?
Oh.
Oh.
I think
Jo-
jeans.
yeah. What's a jogger? Like sweatpants?
Like casual pants. Or at least
Yeah.
I call them in the South. Like joggers, you know?
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm all about that comfort.
All right.
Okay. Pen or pencil?
Pen,
Text or call?
text,
Comedy or romance?
comedy.
All right. Blue or red flag?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Red.
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 Gotta go with
But
classic.
he's wearing blue
I know.
today, yeah.
All right. Road trip or sky miles?
Road trip.
Ooh, road trip.
You know, everyone has said road trip, and I don't know if it's because no one wants to get in a plane right now.
Oh my gosh, that could be it.
I
That
think
could
that's
be it.
a lot of it.
Literally, hands down, everyone I've interviewed has said road trip. So
Oh my gosh.
I kind of agree. So, all right. So you guys have been making for a while, but I don't know this, and I know our audience would love to know, how did you get your start down this career path?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I feel like it was kind of an accident in a way. I mean, we both grew up really crafty. Dennis grew up crafting with his mom. She used to do craft fairs. My mom was really into like needlepoint knitting, and we both just had that bug. And then we also had a theater bug. So Dennis went to school for theater. I
Yeah.
went to school for education, and then kind of did theater on the side. And then we met on the national tour at Fiddler on the Roof.
Mhm.
We were both in it, and we traveled for 2 years together. You want to take the rest?
Yes. And kind of as we were touring, we would do little things for our cast members and the crew members. We would make like Halloween goodie bags, Valentine's Day treats, and cards. And the people on tour actually pushed us to start our own blog to kind of keep in touch with people and just share our ideas and projects. So after tour, we moved to New York. We started a blog, and then it just kept growing over the years until about 4 years ago, we were picked up by HGTV, and we've been pursuing this as a full-time career since then.
Oh, I love it. So the theater background makes sense with all of the awesome dance videos that you guys
Oh my gosh, yes.
Still got to get that out.
They're the best. Okay, so you guys make a ton of different projects, but what is your absolute favorite?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. We really love anything with like Halloween or Christmas. Those are like our favorite.
Yeah. Like anything for the holidays. We tend to like projects that are easy but have a big impact, you know, that we can share and that someone could see it and say, oh, I can make that, I can do that, you know, and it looks bomb, you know, so good. I guess.
Because I feel like there's so much that goes into like documenting crafting that we don't really like to spend a lot of time actually like crafting on like one specific thing. It just, you know, it takes forever. So when we can find ways to like shorten it, like those are the best. And we feel that a lot of people like that as well. You know, they want quick results too.
Cool. I like it. And I think everything that I look at what you guys do, I'm like, that's easy. People can make that. So that message is totally coming across. I love your love for Christmas and Halloween. And what our viewers don't know is before we started, they had a Christmas clock going off.
Yes. Every hour, it's a different song.
I was like, what is that? They didn't even flinch. And they're like, oh, it's our Christmas clock.
I know. We used to only keep it up during like November, December, but then we just started getting sad taking it down. So we're like, we'll leave it for January. And then here we are. We're those people. We have a Christmas clock. I even think we still have our like Christmas doormat outside. It's just, you know, with everything going on, I'm like, I'm not even bothered.
Christmas is a happy time. Hallmark was playing Christmas movies, so
yes.
It's probably bringing happiness to someone in your building.
Hopefully.
All right, so you guys have done a ton of really cool TV segments. Is there one that stands out that's been your favorite?
Oh my gosh. Well, our first one was On the Chew. And before we were on the Chew, we were actually fans of the Chew. And because they filmed in the city here, we're about 15 minutes away, we actually went to see live tapings of the show before we even got on it, which is so funny. But that was epic and so much fun. We also did Kelly and Ryan, and that was super special because Ryan at one point like ran off set to get a flannel. He was like, guys, I gotta go get my flannel. I'll be right back. And we were like, oh my God, that's so sweet. And then also Kelly Ripa backstage, I wasn't paying attention. And apparently she was waving and trying to get our attention. This was like our third time back. And Andrew was tapping me. He's like, Dennis, look. And I'm like, what do you want? And Kelly Ripa's like in the corner being like,
I was like, she recognizes us.
And we were like, oh my God.
She was fangirling you guys.
I know, and I missed the whole thing.
That's awesome. Okay, are they as nice in person as I would think they are from watching them on TV?
They are. They are.
Really
They're
are.
so sweet.
That's been like the best part about it because you never know. It's, you know, it's such like a high stress environment, but like they're so nice and really, they just really feel down to earth.
Cool. Well, it's always good to hear that because you always wonder. Sometimes you meet.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys make a lot of things. Has there been a craft fail?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there've been so many craft fails. You know, I feel like a lot of times we start with an idea and of course it just like doesn't work out or it goes in a completely different direction. But we were talking about this morning and we were trying to think of like what has been like one of the worst like craft experiences. Yeah. And we were thinking we did this concrete craft and it's just so hard to do it in our apartment. We have like a 1-bedroom apartment. We don't have a utility sink. We don't have like an outdoor space with a hose. So it was just like the most messy, god-awful experience. It was
like, pretty bad.
I will never work with that again, like on that scale in our apartment.
Yeah, it was awful.
You know, we come in through this like issue a lot though, just being in our space. Like we really like to use spray paint, but we can't really spray paint. Before we had our cat though, we would like open the windows and spray paint like in
inside
our apartment.
Yeah.
But now that we have like our baby, we're like, well, we have to spray paint in here.
Yeah.
No spray paint fumes for Teddy Kruger.
Right. Yeah.
We'll give them to ourselves, but just not for
the cat.
Not Teddy. You guys are such Great cat dads. I love it. Okay, so you guys seem to get along really well, but do you ever have disagreements or bicker when you're crafting? And if so, who wins?
Oh my gosh. Of course. I mean, the creative process is always messy, you know? It's like we always come with two different ideas and meshing them into one is always kind of a hard thing.
Yeah, it's challenging.
I mean, we bicker, we'll get into fights like anybody else, but we always get out of them, which is the best part. And it's usually because he wins.
He wins.
But I'm more about like following through and getting something done so we can move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's set it and forget it and move on. You know, it's like
I'm the type who I'm like, well, let's think about it for a week. Let's try it 3 different ways and then find the best way.
And you're like, nah, we got to keep going.
I'm like, we don't have time. We have 19 other projects.
Yeah, the craft train does not stop. It's got to keep moving.
It's true. Yes.
Okay, so we're stuck inside a lot, right? What are you guys doing as your creative outlet to keep yourselves sane and happy and moving forward?
Oh my gosh. Well, we've been eating a lot of cake and eating a lot of sweet treats.
Yeah, we're not like the biggest bakers, but we've been like baking like a really simple like cake from scratch recipe.
Yeah, a lot of binge watching, television, movies, a lot of cuddles with the cat and playing with the cat.
A lot of cooking dinners.
Just kind of taking pleasure in the simple things.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think a lot of us have gone back to like, let's take a stroll outdoors. And we don't normally do that when we're so busy going here and there, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So true.
I know it's so hard because so many people are complaining all the time. And I'm like, wait, we should really just be like enjoying this moment where we really don't have to worry about everything else. And I feel like once we go back, everyone's going to be like, I wish we were back. And it's like, oh God.
I know. So my husband and I, we went on a picnic with our daughter for the first time 2 weeks ago. And like we went to this park where like no one else was. And we're like, okay, wait a second. It took a pandemic for us to have a picnic outdoors with our child. Like,
oh my gosh.
normally, but like we're thankful that it's making us realize like going back to the simpler times, slowing down and enjoying those moments, right?
Yes.
Totally.
All right, so I know you guys are probably working on some cool stuff. Can you give me a sneak peek or a preview of anything fun you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to, of course, like do as much content as we can. I feel like people really want that right now. We just tie-dyed a shower curtain.
Ooh.
Yeah, which was really fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
And
we've been
came out
using our Cricut Maker a lot.
Yes, of course.
Just adding vinyl to everything, organizing everything.
We just like updated our kitchen, which was really fun.
It looks great.
So we're trying to kind of like move on to other rooms of the apartment, but we're like, you know, we're doing it nice and slow.
Hey, slower times, right?
Totally.
Okay, all-time favorite project you've ever made.
Oh my gosh. We did this tabletop water fountain, which was super cute, and it had alcohol ink tiles on it, and then the fountain kind of ran down the tiles. That was a really fun project.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I always like our Halloween trees. We do like Halloween Christmas trees.
Yes.
Which sounds like so wacky, but it's just like really fun. It's really like we can be as creative as we want and like do the most outlandish things, and it just kind of works because it's a Halloween Christmas tree.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so what does like dream life look like professionally for Crafty Lumberjacks? If like every dream comes true in the next 5 years, what does it look like?
Oh my gosh. It looks like other people doing the work and we're just taking a paycheck. Yes.
I mean, I guess that's the real
yeah.
answer.
No, ideally we want a house, we want a yard, we want to adopt more animals, live closer to our families.
I do think like finding like a small team to help us is a big thing. It's really just the two of us. We always talk about figuring out how to incorporate more people to help us, but every time we think about it, it almost feels like more work for us, like kind of like, well, we could have someone write the blog post, but then we'll need to like kind of pre-write the steps out. And it's like, well, if we're doing that, maybe
By that point, yes, we should just do it. Yeah.
So I think like a goal is to kind of like figure out how to kind of take that next step where we
to
can,
keep evolving.
Yeah, just to keep growing.
Yeah, we would love our own like craft line, our own little segments, you know, our reoccurring segments on like certain shows. We'd love like to make clothing and apparel. I'm
hearing this for the first time.
You guys could have your own line of Crafty Lumberjack shirts.
Yes.
Your own line. It would be
Gotta get that team.
I know.
Let someone else do the work for that, right?
Yes, please.
Amazing. All right, guys. Well, fingers crossed. I know all your dreams are going to come true because you guys are awesome. So remind our viewers where they can follow you on social, your blog, and all the fun stuff.
You can find us at craftylumberjacks.com, Instagram, Crafty Lumberjacks,
YouTube, Crafty Lumberjacks. We're also on the HGTV Handmade YouTube channel, so that we're featured there about twice a month or so. So you can find us there, and then just Crafty Lumberjacks across the board.
Cool. Can't miss ya. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Y'all were amazing. Enjoy your time at home, and I can't wait to see all the fun projects you guys are coming up with.
Once this is over, come visit in New York, please.
Yes, I know. It's killing me to not travel. I usually travel like 2 to 3 times a month for work, and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
where are my miles? So once it's over, I will definitely be making a trip to New York. So
yes,
craft date.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.